Vande Mataram students, after completion of the grammar part, that is simple present tense and present continuous tense, we'll move on to a new topic, that lesson number 6. The name of the topic is Philemon and Baucis. It's about the story of two couples, and the story has been written by Ovid's Metamorphoses. Let us look at the story. Long ago, on a hill in Greece lived a very kind couple, Philemon and Baucis. They were poor yet very helpful. They had many hives of bees from which they got honey, and many vines from which they gathered grapes. One old cow gave them milk, and they had a little field in which they grew grain. So in the long ago, many years ago, there lived a couple. Those names were Philemon and Baucis. They lived in the hills of Greece. It's a foreign country. They were very poor but very helpful too. And there they had many hives of bees, means bees, where we collect honey from that, and even the grapes garden, where we gathered and collect grapes from those garden. And they even had one old cow which they used to remove the milk, and even little field where they used to grow grain. The old couple was always ready to share whatever they had with everyone. No stranger was ever turned away from their door. Below the hill was a beautiful village. It had good roads and rich pastures all around it, but it was full of wicked, selfish people. So these two old couples, Philemon and Baucis, were very kind. They used to share whatever they had with them. Even when a stranger goes from their door, they used to give something to eat. And that below the hill where they stayed, the couples, there was a beautiful village down. And there they can carry their goods, whatever things they had, they can carry there. But the village which was below the home of Philemon and Baucis, the village people were very wicked and selfish. Means they won't share with everyone anything, and they used to stay on their own. They didn't help anyone at all. One evening, two strangers came into the valley. They stopped at every house and asked for food and place to sleep, but the selfish villagers did not help them. Instead, they turned them out. They set their dogs after them. So one day what happens, in the evening time, two strangers, means the people which is unknown for us, we don't know them, they came into that village. And in every house, every door, they stopped and they just knocked the door and asked for food, and they wanted some place to sleep. But that I told that the villager people is very selfish. They don't used to help anyone. That selfish village people, what they said, they didn't help that two strangers. And what they did, they had dogs, and they used to make the dogs go behind that strangers. The strangers were very weary and hungry. Finally, they came to the hut of Philemon and Baucis. These kind people had eaten very little, for they were saving their best food for the next day. So these strangers who were coming, they just were roaming in the village. Nobody treated them well. So they went little to the hilly area where they found the couple Philemon and Baucis' house. They went to their house, their hut. It was a small hut, and Philemon and Baucis were very happy seeing those strangers, two people there in their hut. They welcomed them, and they gave so many eatable things to them. As they saw many eatable things, as they were very hungry, they ate very little. They thought that the remaining food we will be eating it the next day. Philemon saw the strangers and said, Baucis, these men need food. They are tired and hungry. Yes, they do, said Baucis, as she ran quickly to arrange supper for them. Philemon ran towards them and said, please come in. You have walked a long way. I can see dust and exhaustion on your face. I shall help you wash your hands and faces. In the meantime, Baucis spread her best white cloth upon the table and lay on it honey, grapes, bread and milk. She put the best dishes she had and a little candles to give a festive look. Then she called the strangers to the table. So as soon they saw the strangers, they were very happy. They called the strangers inside. They made a dining table ready, and she even gave something to eat like breads, grapes, milk, honey to them. She burned the candle so that it looks very nice to see and look, even like it is a merry thing, it is a happy thing. And they could see that the strangers were very exhausted and very dusty. They were moving here or there. Exhausted means they were very tired too. The dishes were served to them. The dishes the strangers turned to gold. The pitcher was never empty, although they drank glass after glass of milk. The loaf of bread stayed always the same size, although the strangers cut slice after slice. So what happens, students, when the strangers started eating, and both the husband and wife couples helped them so much, they gave them eatable things, everything. When the strangers touched the dishes, means touched the food automatically changed into a gold. So it was just a miracle there. The food changed to a gold. It's a great thing. And when there was a large jug of milk given by the couples, so how much they drank the milk, 2 glasses, 3 glasses, 4 glasses. As they go on drinking the milk would not be finished at all. Even the piece of bread, loaf of bread means piece of bread, when they ate, even after eating all the piece of bread, the bread used to change the same. It won't be half, it would be complete full of bread will be there. The same size bread used to remain on the dining table. Even the slices, the cut slices, the cut piece of any vegetables, whatever was been served to them after eating, even after they ate, the thing was remained the same. So this was the miracle happened there in the Philemon and Baucis hut. So students, this was the story. Remaining story I will tell you in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.